Hello, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, speaking with a very basso profundo voice today. I am kind of struggling with a bit of a cold. Nothing too serious. I feel fine. Just a little infant in my nose and throat. So keeping an eye on it. Taking some over-the-counter meds just to kind of try to keep it at bay. Because a busy time's coming for me in my day job. But today, it's not about that. Today, we are going for a hunt. That's right. I've been mentioning on the channel that I'm interested in expanding my channel to include the thrill of the hunt videos, where I can go to things like toy shows and flea markets, yard sales, and something I haven't really done too much of yet, and that is go to vintage related toy stores. So today, that is what we're going to do. I have set up I've gone through my, a couple of weeks ago I set up an entire map in my kind of tri-state area of anywhere that there was like a flea market, an antique or vintage toy store, or where a toy shows are ordinarily held. And I have I've been doing so. We went to the Wayne Toy Show a few episodes ago, and I tried to do a flea market video, but that was silly because at this time of year it's freezing cold here. And yes, these flea markets were said to be open 24 or all year, but they were not, or there was very few people there, so it didn't make much sense. So I'm gonna wait on that until the weather breaks, and I'll check those out. But antique toy stores, vintage toy stores, they're open all year round. So I kind of put together a nice little list, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's go check it out. Now I was able to stumble across, in certain parts of the state, I think overall about 60, 70, 80 stores. We're not doing that today. No, I've basically found about 7 or 8 locations. They're all I'm located in Central Jersey. These would be in the Philadelphia, which is kind of southwest New Jersey. Okay, southeast New Jersey would be more like the Jersey Shore. Southwest New Jersey, in the Philadelphia area, anywhere you're near a city, there's a lot more congestion, a lot more, densely populated area. So you have a better shot of finding stores. And I've tracked down a bunch of stores. So we're gonna check them out. I've created a map, on Google Maps to go to each one, and I created an order, took into account which one's open at what time, and I'm going to try to get ourselves there. I have no idea if all of these stores are even in existence. I mean, I checked them out and they appear to all still be open. At least they haven't been up. Their Google information has not updated to say that they're no longer open. So we'll check them out, and then we will see what we'll see. I'm not really in the market for anything right now. My vintage collection is pretty vast, but there's a lot of stuff out there, and if you delve a little away from Kenner, there's quite a bit of things like puzzles and banks, Presto Magic, and things of that nature that I wouldn't mind adding a thing here or there into the collection. So we're gonna look around and see what we can find. Also, if there's anybody selling like cheap vintage figures, incomplete, what they call beaters. What I've been doing is I've been trying to gather up a bunch of those, clean them up, and use some of them for dioramas and displays, and others try to slowly build up, complete it, maybe get the weapons from other dealers, accessories, get a complete figure, have it, if it's in decent shape, put it in a baggie, and I'll put it out for the yard sale in June. So let's go on an adventure. It is still quite cold here in Central Jersey, but I believe we're supposed to be getting an increase in temperature. Like I heard 4 degrees a day, so that's pretty good. That'll get us up to more, almost an early spring-like temperatures by next week, we hope. So I am extremely excited to be doing this. I am been wanting to do this for the last couple of weeks, but either the weather has been a little bit, I meant for that to happen. Either the weather has been too rainy or snowy or something of that nature, or I've been busy. So, and there's a lot of stuff coming up in my professional life that's going to make doing this kind of thing, even on a day off, a little bit more problematic. So, while we're driving, I'm just going to talk about one thing, and then we'll, this whole event for me will take about 4 to 5 hours, because I have to go. What I'm doing is going kind of to a faraway shop, and then kind of towards the west, and then going south, and then just working my way back, kind of like pinballing, ding 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 ding, into little places on my way back home. So that's kind of the plan. But I wanted to talk for a minute, some thoughts about Hasbro just at the time of this recording. And again, my recordings always come out a little bit later, because I always pre-record. So Hasbro just announced their new initiative. They are, there's talk about, doing a digital switch to, not fully digital, but they're, talking about changing up their whole philosophy. They've kind of did a lot of buzzwords, a lot of sound bites, but sorry for the, hey, look, J.J. Abrams sung there. They are, in fact, looking to, obviously, like companies, there's a lot of pivot and change happening in corporations these days, with spending habits changing, and, what constitutes play, which is changing. The definition of that is changing. So a lot of Star Wars collectors are nervous that they're really going to jump more into the digital background, with gaming and things of that nature, and less into the, physical play things like toys and collectibles. But Hasbro also talked about play for all. Like, they're talking about, increasing their, maybe they didn't say this, but some of what they were saying hints at the fact that hints at the idea that they're going to do away with, or do a little bit less with, aiming just for children's toys, and maybe focused on a collectible market. Which, while many Hasbro collectors are very positive, or Star Wars collectors I think that's a very positive thing. For me, the jury's out. I've mentioned on the channel, I'm not someone who, I kind of am taking a less is more approach to collecting these days. I've only been collecting vintage collection figures. I occasionally will pick up a Black Series, but I mean, I've bought I think in 2024, I finally like in the last 8 months, I've bought 1 Black Series figure. Oh no, 3. 2 of them I put back out for the sale. I bought Basil from The Acolyte, and the reason I bought Basil was because I really liked the character, and I didn't think, because the show wasn't very successful, I don't know if they're planning on making a vintage collection version of Basil. So that's why I have Basil. But even now, I'm like, the Skeleton Crew characters, I only collect Janad because he's the only one that they've made available on the vintage vintage collection. So I don't know. I love the kids. I love the characters. I want to collect them. I want a Neil figure. But I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see if they make an announcement. I can imagine them announcing maybe a Star Wars Celebration, like a 4-pack with the 4 kids, which I'd love. But I'm not going to go crazy for the Black Series. And number one, they're pricing me out. They're just too expensive. I mean, even the vintage collection is expensive. So I'm for one, I'm not too nervous or upset about them pulling back on even vintage collection. I'd like them to stop it, or at least take a break from it. Some of what they said in their initiatives and their plans hints maybe that there'll be more HasLabs. I'll have to wait and see what that means. If it's a Black Series HasLab, I don't think it will be. I think they recognize that Black Series HasLab, like the Black Series Rancor, it didn't go. The Reva Saber didn't go. Instead, I think what they're more likely to do is something more like the Cantina or another ship. Will I get those? I don't know. I've definitely feel this, and again, I love the vintage collection. I love Star Wars in general. I've always been a fan of all things Star Wars. So I'm not too concerned about whether they release figures for the new TV shows or the new movies that are coming out versus, finishing up the characters that they've never created from the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy. Ultimately, but my love for Star Wars collecting definitely centers more towards the original movies. Not so much in the stories, but in the packaging and in the way they were released. I love the retro style, and I love the vintage collection figures for that reason. So, but I'm okay with a break from them, as I've said. So we'll see where they go. We'll see where they go with it, and we will see. I'm going to stop here and pick up a coffee, and then for you guys, the next video will be at our first stop. I'm going to have to check with all of the store owners to make sure that I'm allowed to videotape. This is my first time doing this kind of thing for a store. I've been to shows, I've been to flea markets already, but I really am hoping that they'll let me videotape. I can't imagine why they wouldn't, but you know, everybody has a different policy, so we'll see what they do. All right, time to fuel up with some caffeine, and then we'll be on our way. So here's our first stop in Hatboro, PA. Joys and Toys, Antiques and Collectibles. Already see some interesting Star Wars related content items. Of course, I also found my first error, which is that Google said they opened at 10. It's actually 10:30. So I'll have to go and wait a little bit. So I'm sitting here waiting in my car because it's kind of cold out, waiting for Joys and Toys to open. This is the downside about this type of hunting, because this is a toy. This is like a mom and pop antique shop. Who knows if they're going to show up? At this point, it's 10:22. I don't know if they're going to show up or not. So I'll give them until about 10:45, and then I'm going to be on to my next adventure. But who knows? They might already be in there. They might just be waiting for 10:30 to open up. There was, however, a bakery right next door. I did, decide to, support my local businesses, or support local businesses, I should say, not my local business. It's about an hour away from me, but, but it's a local bakery, and I, went in there and partook in a baked good, brought some, and some other ones to bring home to my family. So, this is a cute town, it's pretty busy. Lots of individual mom and pop stores. There's a music store here, eateries, places like that. So it's cool. Let's see what happens if they open. Update: as soon as I stopped filming, the gentleman opened up his door. It's 10:25. I want to give him a few minutes. I don't want to rush him. He looks like he's taking stuff outside. Kind of a cold day for that, but okay. So I will be going in about 5 minutes. Wow, look at this. A little bit of everything here. Lots of different stuff here. Oh my goodness. You need any games? There we go. Right out of the gate. Looking like mostly newer stuff, but some cool stuff nonetheless. eBay boxes. Starting the game of trivia. Crazy. Oh my goodness. Talking bank. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm afraid. Oh boy. Lost in space. Contact ship. Deluxe stream. Crazy. Wow. This guy's got crazy amounts of stuff. all over the place. Wow, this is something. Now clear a little bit. I haven't seen any vintage Star Wars. Oh well, some of that. No, it looks like all that's fairly new. Hesh trucks. Lots of albums. I might come back and take a look. I doubt he has any Star Wars album. Oh my God, look at these. Wow. Jeez. Man, you know, there's an organized chaos to all this. Yeah, you kind of have to go through. I'm just kind of doing a walkthrough right now, and then maybe I'll come back. I'll have to come back around and do a little more detailed look. Looks like he's got a lot of albums, a lot of tapes. That might be most of his Star Wars stuff was kind of set up right there, which is good. Mostly newer things, but jigsaw puzzles here. These are some vintage jigsaw puzzles. Maybe. Gotta look at some of these. The cool thing about the jigsaw puzzles is that this is what they came out with the first year. Like, this is like 78, 77. So, I'll definitely take a look. Whoa. Guy can get hurt back here. Whoa. Okay. Oh. Some nice shirts. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Just crazy, man. It's like I need to I'm glad I'll have to drive a little bit. I'm gonna have to I'm getting overstimulated here. Cool. G.I. Joe. Cool. Okay, well, made some purchases. Time to head on to the next destination. Yeah, that was a good, a great first start. Love that place. You can get lost in there. You know, that's the kind of place if you just want to go and just kind of putter through place by place. But the interesting thing I wanted to mention is that, you know, they had very little vintage stuff out on display. I saw some puzzles. So I'm not really into puzzles, but I just wanted to find something, you know, because I wanted to, you know, I figure when they give me permission to film, I feel like I should patronize them a little bit. I should get something. And the puzzles, he was selling puzzles for $5 a piece. So I picked up a 150 piece puzzle. I don't know if it's even complete, but you know, it's nice to own a handful of items that came out in 1977, you know, like I said before. So I was, but after I had a little conversation with the guy, and he, I found, I don't know if I can't remember if I filmed something I did. I found some of the checklist figures that you would get inside the collector case, and there was one that was a C-3PO collector case checklist, which shaped like his head, and I wanted to buy it. But, so I brought it to him, and he's like, well, that's actually, I usually keep those, you were actually in my office. His office looked like anywhere else in the thing. It was just stacks and stacks of stuff. So I didn't realize that was actually his office. And he said, yeah, I use that as a checklist to kind of figure out the figures. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and I was trying to like say, well, you know, if you take a picture of it, but I don't even know if the guy had a cell phone with a picture, with a camera in it. He was an old timer. But he had said, you know, he needs that. And he said, oh, I get stuff in all the time and I have to mark them. So I then asked, did you have any? You have any vintage figures? And well, let me tell you, he brought this huge bin with a huge baggie filled with loose figures. And he offered me a price. I accepted it, threw in the puzzle for free. So I was like, okay. I mean, you know, I give the guy credit. You know, it's like he's into a lot of different antique things, but you know, he knew his stuff, and I think it's good. So the figures I got, I'm gonna clean them up like I did in the previous videos, and I'm in the process. I do look. There are people that do claim sales of weaponry, you know, accessories and weapons. If I can find weapons and accessories to go with those figures, I'll do that, and then I will, you know, put them together, and then I can up the price on those figures. But we'll see. So now we're off to our next destination, which is about a half an hour away. And then from there, I think we go half an hour, and then we go another one. It's another half an hour, and then we just slowly work our way back for the remaining places. So here we go. Okay, this is Bring Back the Past. And whoa, they have incredible. It's amazing. I think I see someone here. Oh my God, Princess Leia mask. Holy cow. Lots of Star Wars over here. My goodness. Some new, some old. Yikes. Hey, they got my cooler up there. It's crazy, man. Space case. Lots of albums. Crazy, man. Okay, so that was kind of in contrast to the first store. That one was a little too hodgepodgey for my tastes. Plus, it was kind of, and you know, the first store looked pretty similar, but the first store had a little more organization to it. And it seemed like she was just kind of, everything was just in piles. It felt less like a store and more like a flea market, or a picking through, you know, a bunch of random piles. She had some good stuff, but mostly newer stuff. The only vintage thing I saw really was the Leia costume, Ben Cooper costume. It was a bit damaged, not even really that good condition. So on to the next one.
All right, sounds good. I will let my boss know. Well, I think it's pretty wrapped, but either way, we'll figure something out.
Interesting. This is it's called the Nerd Ball.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that stuff. I mean, you can come up whenever. I mean, it's 100. I don't think I would so if need be. So I mean, if you want to talk to that, just let me know.
Interesting.
Whatever you want to do. Okay, that sounds good. All right. You're welcome. Have a good one.
I don't think I've ever seen more board games in one place in my life. Holy cow. Oh my god, there's even more back there. It seems to be definitely more associated with gaming. So, and they had a small Star Wars selection. A couple of vintage figures, but nothing major, so. I mean, very impressive games, though. Okay, next up, the House of Fun. Action figures, toys, vintage and modern. Let's see what we got. Well, right out of the gate. I'm liking this place. Definitely some nice ones here. Looks like they obviously are into lots of different types. Oh god, I even have like Battlestar in it. 18. Crazy.
I have at home at David.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I bought mine a year ago in box.
Yeah.
And the box and him is what took this price up.
Yeah.
But
Okay, yeah.
all the little bits and pieces, you know.
And that's the only thing that you know is missing, just that
Yeah,
one big one, so.
one of our regular personal friends, the boss, is like,
Okay, that's not. Crazy. We're in this. Oh. Modern day. Oh my God. Look at this. This is. Wow. And a stormtrooper. Oh, from yeah, this is like crazy, man. It's all mixed up. I mean, there's modern. A lot of modern stuff, yeah, but. All these, oh my goodness. Nuts. Fix that.
$40. Yeah, this is good. Definitely find plenty of stuff over here.
And then, of course, the quintessential and seemingly obligatory wall of Funko Pops. It's cool.
I made a personal Instagram.
The flying diamond.
I predict someday we're going to have a Mingo Star Wars. Holy cow. It's the Clone Wars droid. Does this thing roll? No. It's sitting out in the open. Okay, wow. Giant Vader helmet. This is just Unbelievable. Thanks. All right, the House of Fun did not disappoint. I picked up a micro hot turret playset, which I'm gonna, you know, probably resell, but I want to double check to make sure I have all the metal figurines. I already have the set, but I want to make sure mine is complete. And then this one, Empire Strikes Back collector case, a little bit more rare than the Star Wars one. They had the Star Wars one too, so I love the collector case. I love the art. There were 2 Empires. I don't know if I have that one, and if I do, it's okay. I'll take the better of the 2, and I'll keep it for the collection and part with the other one. So I'm not necessarily thinking I'm making a ton of money on all this, guys. I recognize that this is a business. You know, I didn't buy this at a yard sale or or claimed it in bulk, so I might just break even on it, but that's okay, because I want to offer more vintage stuff at my sale, so I'm trying to pick up more of that. So see where we can go. Got a few more stops to make. Let's see what we can do. Next up, time lapse. Let's see what this place has. I'm not sure. It looks a little different, but we'll see. This is interesting, like a magazine, right? Interesting. I had that. My.
Let's go get some food, okay?
It's interesting. Motown soundtrack show tunes. Play with toys and play with this. Toys and collectibles. Love in the front window. How you doing? I've actually been in this store before. It's one of my first stores that I ever went to. You know, like a dedicated vintage toy shop. And of course, that's where all the good stuff is. Those are interesting. Oh, figure arts, that's right. Oh, the bop bag. Lots of sabers here. A toothbrush. I know that sounds so stupid, but I really wish I could get one of those. Yes, Jedi. Huh. 55. There's three things here. The R2 bop bag. Actually, four things. The switcheroo. The toothbrush. And I guess this is the torture chamber, but I think it's a different color. Jabba's dungeon. There's a lot of Godzillas up there. Wow. Oh, what else we got? Oh, you got an AT. It's Jedi. Return the Jedi Scoutwalker. That one come with Chewbacca? I don't know. I don't think so. Tatooine skiff. an interesting glass. Is that a different glass? Huh. Not sure. Unless those are... I'll have to ask about those. Blaster, 75. Towel. Yeah, cool stuff. Okay, from the Play With This store, the only place so far that I've actually been to before. Very nice, very organized. A lot of priciness. The toothbrush you wanted $500. The bop bag you wanted like, I think $400, and the switcheroo you wanted $100. So this was $55. So I decided to get it. There are two different color variations on this. I don't remember if I already have this one. I know I have one of the dungeons. I just don't know if I have the color, this color or not. If I do, then they'll clean it up and it'll go in the sale. If I don't, it'll go in the collection. Also, these are rarities. These are the Burger King glasses, but these are plastic versions of the Burger King glasses. Now they had a few other ones, but they were much more expensive. This one I think is because it's a little beat up. He was only asking 10. So I picked that up. So there we go. All right, we have just a couple more stops. Hey, look what I found. Another Ollie's. We'll see if this one has anything different. Yeah, pretty much the same as I've seen in other Ollie's. A couple of and same old retro figures. Okay. I think I've done enough customizing. I've seen some videos where they talk about how they can, you could price them. Okay. It feels like the retro collection of figures that's the last time they're gonna do that, because it seems like this is the only ones. $3.99. Yeah, I've done enough of those. Okay, moving on. Okay, last but not least, the toy Cantina. You gotta love the name. I'm also loving that it's obviously Cantina taken from Star Wars. The font taken from Star Trek. And a little bit of everything in there. Ghostbusters, DC, I see an R2 on the left. Some G.I. Joe, He-Man. Let's see what we can find.
That's even better. Look at that incredible artwork. Oh my gosh. Birthday plates. Invitations 8. Wow, look at all this. That freaking communicator? Dude. Has dispenser. This is, I always just call this one Scare Glow. Incredible. Dude.
Where on earth did you get the Boba Fett?
We got it. We've had it for a while. It was actually at a tattoo shop for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a cool piece.
It's amazing.
We actually have the blaster too, but it kept falling out of the hands. So the blaster
With, just like it did on the little figures.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Oh my goodness. Yikes. Oh my gosh. This is the mother load here. I'm like, it's overwhelming.
So the little castle.
Yeah, so he has
There's a little
the
piece.
prong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Technically, I drove, so he went down like that, and I gotta be careful. Because I 24, yeah, thank you, man. That's unbelievable, right? We had a box. Yeah. That's so crazy.
Still mad they're not doing.
Last one, oh man. Well, this is awesome.
That's
I'm not getting the cold
It's
stuff,
like
so
it was meant to be, right?
we don't care. We both don't get it.
Wait here for me. That's so cool.
actually the funny thing is I actually would buy Cold Stone too.
Cold Stone's my favorite.
I like Stone Cold. I like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold is my favorite face of the
Oh yeah, that's
Macho Man.
I love the Macho Man. Depending on the decade, Macho Man. I think Macho Man is more iconic than Hogan personally. Honestly, I've never been a huge fan of Hogan. I always like Macho Man. Piper. I love Piper. Obviously, Sergeant Slaughter.
You need Ricky Steamboat, man.
Ricky Steamboat's nothing. Ricky Steamboat. Wait, was it Ricky Steamboat? Yeah, Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat.
He did the drop kick.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember. Is he the one who killed his girlfriend?
Oh, in real life.
In real life?
He might have actually.
They were high on cocaine. I think he beat her to death. I don't know. It was on Vice. It's on the Dark Side of Wrestling with Vice.
That might have happened, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was him. I'm trying to remember who did what.
Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, Snuka. Okay. Steamboat. Okay, Steamboat was good. Okay.
Never mind. Jimmy Snuka's my favorite.
Old Snuka.
Real model citizen.
I know he had problems. Macho Man. I always liked Macho Man though. And then as I got older, I realized how big of a D-bag he was. But still, he was entertaining, you know.
Any Godzilla stuff?
Right now, I don't think we do have any Godzilla stuff.
We have Rodan. Let me see. Right behind you, on top of the snake oil. Max Blister. In that case right there, in this case, the next one over.
I know what you're talking about.
Right up top right.
Oh, I see him. Oh, I got him. Here you got him? Okay. That's probably the only thing we have right now.
Okay.
We get him in every once in a while, but most Godzilla stuff goes pretty quick.
Okay.
One more purchase. Slightly dinged up, but a good, awesome art. I think I might have actually had this one as a kid. All right. 7 locations plus an Ollie's. Pretty productive day. All in all, took me roughly 6 hours, about 7.5 hours door to door, leaving the house to get back to the house. I still have to do the last hour to get home, but overall, pretty happy with it. I would tell you that in terms of Star Wars related, Toy Cantina, by far the best for vintage Star Wars. Actually, all Star Wars. I was really impressed with them. Really my bookends. The first one I went to, of course, whose name is escaping me, but I'm going to go on video. The old gentleman who he just had a huge antique store, and it had a lot of different toys in it, a lot of different vintage in it, and he gets a lot of stuff in day to day. So that was fantastic. And the last one, Toy Cantina. Play with This. That was another one that was pretty good. Second to last one. And the rest, you know, there was some good stuff here and there, but they were much more niche, much smaller. I think that those 3 were the ones that had the most to offer. So if you're in the New Jersey or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, it's not too far of a drive, especially central South Jersey. So that concludes my adventure today with that area. I probably will make a trip back to the 3 I mentioned. Probably not going to do the other ones. Not that they weren't good. They just well, the one person that was Bring Back the Past in Philly. She was very nice, but the place was it just seemed more like a hoarder. There was just stuff stacked everywhere, and there was no heat, so it was freezing in the room. And as I said, there was some Princess Leia. There was a Don Post costume, but it was damaged. And a lot of it was just the newer stuff. It just wasn't. It was the kind of thing that they had stuff stacked up so high that I felt like if I were to ask this person to move to grab something, you know, she would run the risk of knocking everything down, hurting herself, hurting me. So I wasn't going to do that. But no, overall it was really good, a good day, and I enjoyed it. I can't make a habit out of it. I probably spent a little more money than I expected. However, I do feel that most of the money I will make back, if not more so, hopefully, in my sales, whether it's my yard sale at the end of the year or if I get out to do a flea market. I think I can flip some of this stuff and make it back, or it's just part of the collection now, you know, which will, you know, go up in value for future years. So that'll do it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, I've watched a lot of flipping and thrifting videos, and I thought this is something fun I want to try. I did it. I'm glad I did it. I will do it again. Not for a while. I got a couple of other things going on. I'm exhausted. It was very tiring, but it was really cool. So thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Check me out on Instagram and Bluesky, and Darth Tuba's unboxing page on Facebook. Thank you to Red 5 Network for supporting the channel. Please check out all of the Red 5 Network content. And until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.